Hello, and welcome to Zeeverse. Today, we are going to be cooking our stack of 530 rare fish over this fire. Just like that. And I'm kidding, of course. Yesterday's video, we went ahead and we showed you what dungeons looked like from level 1 to level 80. We're going to walk by this big bird over here and click this fire portal. And this is what the temple looks like, or the forge rather. So our goal here is, with my team, I'm capable of killing the boss on level 10. And he drops some, or has the chance to drop some nice loot. The items in here are, or rather the XP rate and the currency drop is higher, although for the early levels it'll be lower. So if you choose to spend your energy here, it's typically worth it. We're just kind of snooze fest through level 1. As you see there, levels are level 9 and 12. My team is 37, 37, 38. But the forge goes live every Thursday. Well, Thursday for me. I'm Pacific time zone, so that's the worst time zone. So basically every weekend though. Might be Friday for most people. We get our rewards and we move on next. So it's open every weekend. You should be aiming to do at least whatever boss you can handle. In my case, I can handle the level 10 boss. I haven't tried in a while for the level 20 boss. Maybe I should start to push a little bit and figure it out. But for now, I'm content to just get to 10. It's a nice round number with, when you log in, you have 10 energy before you start to spend it. The autoplay in 1 or 2 patches ago was made much better than it was previously. It was a lot slower before. Now the actions kind of queue up on their own a lot faster, which makes it very good for logging on, spending your energy, and doing other things in the game, or in real life if you have one of those. I don't know what that is. So you can already see we're getting about 333 XP, 198 currency. By the time we get to level 10, that'll be up a bit. You can see a good variation of the different types of Z's in the game. This is my chomp, and this is they got 2 chomps. He's the one that uses stun and AoE. This is an upgraded evolution of chomp, so when you get 3 level 50s, although they might be cheating because he's only level 12, it's got the little 2 here. When you combine 3 of those together, you'll get the evolution of him, and it unlocks his second skill. So it's a nice stronger Z. So crunch is the ability. It'll dodge all attacks and do an increased 50% damage on its next attack. It's pretty powerful. Ramping the rewards, keep it going. Just like that, we already cleared level 3. There are stages that have specific modifiers. It's random each week what the modifiers are. Like you know, water types might do increased damage, or, you know, crit rates might be reduced or something to that effect. These little cactus boys, you know, trying to focus down my red healer, but they just don't have the levels to do it. The skill for Chomp, the stun, has an AoE component, an area effect damage, but it doesn't always happen. But it sure is nice when it does. Especially in, I preferred using Chomps. I was always using at least one or two in most of my matches for the player versus player tournament that they had a little while back. That was before evolutions existed, so it's probably a lot more in depth now. Regardless, he's one of my favorites. I like being able to do damage with the potential of some splash damage, as well as, see, I mean, it just sets them back right away. They have to use a heal to catch up, or, you know, one of their guys is stunned, and they have to use a heal to kind of catch up. It puts them on their back foot. So I love just using him, getting that stun out. If you had two of them and you were able to kill one of their guys, then it was pretty much over. If you had the 3-on-2, you could keep them stunned most of the match, or at least enough to the point where they were always on the back foot trying to catch up, trying to heal, or, you know, when they're healing, they're not attacking, and you're safer, and it's only a matter of time till you stun them again. But for the makeup of this team, this was my starter selection. I believe it's random what you get when you start playing the game. So they gave me the green tank, the red AoE healer, and the blue DPS, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's a very healthy team to start with. You got a little bit of everything. You can adapt to most situations. Of course, you're always welcome to hatch some eggs and get some new Z's, or buy some off the marketplace, even leveled up already if you so choose. But I don't know, there's something about them being my OG team has just kind of kept me on using them, despite there probably being wiser choices to make. So even though you're never really weak against whatever team they put out, you're never really strong against them either. Trying to click his ability to see it, because I've never seen it, but the game's moving too fast. Absorbs damage, and explodes. Okay. So this guy is the upgraded version of my tank, so he's got the taunt ability, but he has the extra ability. We got some bait, we got some currency, we get an XP. We're on Forge 6, and we're already getting about as much or more currency and EXP than I do on the level I farm normally, which is the dungeon level 80, which is showed in yesterday's video. It probably would go slightly faster if I took autoplay off. I guess we'll try. Maybe if I focus some of these attacks, they'll their turns will be a little less. But I kind of need to know what I'm doing ahead of time, because when the AI controls it, they do a good job of just keeping it moving. So I'm not convinced that I'm being faster, but it doesn't seem too different right now. I think the big difference is in using your abilities. It knows where you want to put it already, and it just uses it, compared to me having to see if it's available and if I want to use it, and then target who I want to use it on. So it's a little bit of a trade-off, because if I just spam click one target and they die, then the fight also goes a little bit faster, because that's one less enemy taking the turn. We are on Forge 8 now. I meant to use my stun there. Just gonna go like this, and maybe it splashes over and gets the kill. Nope. Get a little greedy with plays like that, trying to stun one and kill another. Kind of like that. So now he's stunned and he loses his turn anyway, but I killed the other one so he didn't get a turn either. Nothing's really threatening me to the point where I need to use my taunts or heals. So we're just pushing through for speed's sake. They just released some gameplay videos today too of the incoming land gameplay. I do own a piece of land. I do also own a mask, which is supposed to have benefits for owning land. There's a couple assets that are in. Last time I saw, each of those are probably in the 0.15 to 0.2 Ethereum range of value. So very interested to see. It's kind of going to expand from, you know, just a creature battler hatching game to add more multiplayer online components, massive multiplayer online components, if you're familiar with MMOs. So I'm eager to see where they go with it, as it does take a while to level up your characters. Don't mind my Brave advertisements popping up. So my team does feel stronger in the Forge than it felt before. I don't know. I'm kind of just blitzing through, even on stage 9 here, without feeling at risk at all. I have leveled them up a little bit. So I'm curious if I could push close to stage 20 and how I would do there. I don't know how drastic the NPC's level jumps. You see this one's 22. When we did stage 1, or Forge 1, they were like level 9. So it is ramping up. Probably should have dropped him while the other one was stunned, but again, I don't really feel threatened right now. We just want to get to the boss, which is after these 3 here. We want to get to the boss and we want to get some good loot. So you've seen so far, typically we're getting, we might get a couple pieces of bait to go fishing. We might get, we do get our currency. And we get our XP. I'm just gonna go a little bit conservative on, we'll use the taunt, we'll use the heal, top ourselves up. Just before we get to the boss, so we can just worry about smashing his face in more than anything else. So you've seen we get about 300. The boss usually gives, this boss usually gives about 1500 if you don't roll into an item. But because this is the Forge, you have the chance to loot items for like your equipment. And I did get a legendary item one time that, you know, sold for about $1,000. So it's worth doing this. You can see I'm just overpowering him right now. There is a boss mechanic if you're lower level. These pillars are attackable. Let me just throw a stun on it and see if it kills a pillar. Didn't kill the pillar, but we'll kill a pillar. That resets his damage. He was ramping up damage. He was doing more. He was adding more fire. Over time, he would get stronger in this fight. But knocking down the pillar will weaken him and reset his damage, so he's not hitting you as hard. But now we're about to finish him off here. We got a nice pile of loot before, and there it is, the 1500. So it's a big hit of currency that you know, this is what you would normally get playing a dungeon level 300 to 450, whatever your team's capable of. Today's bonus loot on the Forge boss was 1500. Sometimes that's an item. Like I said, I've gotten a legendary item there, which sold for about $1,000 at the time. I don't know what it's worth currently. I think at least 500 plus, even though more have dropped since then. And as you saw, that wasn't a lot of effort, and it was I've been recording for about 17 minutes. So 17 minutes and I got through a chance, you know, once a week. Can you spend 17 minutes a week trying for 500 bucks? That's up to you. But that's all my energy in the game, and that's all my energy on the video. So good night.